Hello and welcome to this new moon message today on the 20th of February. I just thought I'd hop on here and just kind of share my perspective of the energy that I'm picking up on for today, and just kind of run through all the different symptoms, just different things I'm experiencing right now, so that if you are someone who is also highly sensitive, then you'll probably pick up on a lot of these feelings and symptoms and just kind of different things today. So just know that everything that you're feeling, everything that you're going through at this time is okay. It is normal. Know that new moon and full moon cycles are always and periods are always a lot more intense energetically than usual. So it's okay if you feel tired today. And I know it is also family day here in Canada. So for us, it's definitely a good day to connect with loved ones, to connect with family, and to spend time with your children if you have children. So that kind of being said, the energy that I am mostly kind of picking up on and feeling is there's just this general sense of peace. There is a general sense of like a knowingness that I'm kind of sensing. I definitely can tell that I'm a little bit more tired today. And I think that is just simply because of the intensity of this super new moon that we have at 1 degree of Pisces today. It's a big deal. Like, today's new moon is a very strong energy. It is also a very, very powerful energy for manifesting. So I spent some time this morning in meditation and definitely just kind of tuning into the energy, and thankfully the sun was out. So I sat in the sun for like a good hour, maybe even 90 minutes, and just took in, like the rays of the sun, and allowed that energy to sort of move through me. It was all about kind of absorbing the light, right? Because we are in winter season still. So absorbing the light is extremely important right now because we've had such a depletion of light for quite some time now. And emotionally, I want to say I feel good. I do. A little bit, I don't know, like, again, like tired is the word that comes to mind. Like, I just feel a little bit tired emotionally. Generally, there's just a lot to process and a lot of change and shift that we're all going through and experiencing as a collective. So I think we're all kind of in the throes of this energy of change, of just desiring change and wanting to make changes in our lives. And excuse me, throat chakra. And perhaps we want to be communicating change, just because my throat's kind of doing that right now. So the change energy that is here for today is really to manifest. It's to dream, to visualize, to take time to create that future, because Pisces is a sign of like dreamy, it's like a dream state kind of thing. It's also a very spiritual sign. It's an amazing, absolutely amazing day to connect to spirit. Every day is an amazing day, obviously, to connect to spirit, but today in particular, I find like my prayers and my connection feels extra amplified. It feels sort of extra heard. And just trust is another piece that keeps coming in, and that I keep feeling that it's very, very important for us to continue trusting in the process of life, to continue trusting that things are always working out for you, to continue trusting that even if the current circumstances that you see are not what you want to be necessarily seeing, that behind the scenes there's so much going on. And I know sometimes that can be easier said than done. It's really a challenge sometimes for people to trust, that things are going to work out for them, or that things are already working out for them. And it's challenging for us because we're so used to seeing things in the outside world, and we're so used to relating to what we see in the outside world, and sort of creating expectations and kind of basing our value and our truth on what we see in our outside world. And that, in my opinion, is so not accurate, because there's so much constantly behind the scenes that are like so many things that are happening that most of us have no idea that it's even happening. And if you are not someone who is tuned in, if you're not somebody who trusts the flow of life, then you're going to really struggle through these energies. You're going to have a very difficult time um, getting into that trust. And trust is something that I had to work on within myself to really allow my ego to sort of fall away when it comes to belief, when it comes to manifesting the things I want in my life. If I want something really awesome to show up in my life, I have to believe that it's going to happen. I have to trust that it's going to happen, and that trust actually first goes to myself. Like, I have to trust myself that I'm able to manifest that thing to happen and to come to fruition in my life. And these are sort of some of the things that are popping up for me right now, of just a reminder, like, to trust myself, to know that I'm capable, I'm more than capable of accomplishing everything that I need to accomplish, and to reach my goals, to get to the sort of destination that I want to get to. And there is actually no destination to get to, because we're constantly unfolding. We are constantly moving through and flowing through our journey. So putting that destination kind of aside, but just having and it's not even destinations, because it's not like a physical location or destination that I'm referring to here. It's just more of like a feeling within myself, getting to a certain level of feeling, a certain level of understanding, a certain level of accomplishing and overcoming within myself. That's really the destination ultimately. And that is a continuous unfolding. It's not like you're just gonna evolve, and then one day hit a plateau and then boom, you're done evolving. Not quite. We, continuously keep evolving even after death. So, which could be a hard concept for some people to understand. But that's the evolution of life. That is the process of life. And going with the flow and trusting that flow can be definitely challenging. And I know it's a struggle that I've had for a long time in my own life, but realizing where I'm at now and how far I have come really really comes from knowing that, I've done the work, and I have been doing the work, and I have been consistent with myself, and I've continually been growing to absolutely bloom a better version of myself. And today's energy is actually about that. Can you visualize yourself in a life, in living, breathing, and enjoying a life that you know that you really deserve and that you desire? Can you visualize yourself and picture it and just put yourself in it and actually feel what it feels like to live that life? Because that is the key to manifesting. And for the longest time, I didn't get that. And I was always feeling crummy, and therefore I was always manifesting crumminess in my life. I was always manifesting things I didn't want to manifest in my life, and I was manifesting for things to not work out, because that's what I sort of was constantly looking at and projecting out into my future. So now, having so much more awareness and being so much more mindful about what I think and what I feel and what I'm constantly emitting out of myself in terms of energy, has really shifted me into this new place of being super intentional with everything that I think and feel. And there are moments where, like yesterday, I had kind of like a really stressful situation happen, and I was in it, but I didn't really let myself sit in it for a long time. I had to move through it, and I really had to force myself kind of through it. And actually, there was no real forcing. Like, the only thing that ended up moving me out of that shitty feeling was I just had to sit, like, grab my phone. I found some really good, like, calming music, and I just had to breathe and go within myself, and just kind of connect within and connect to spirit. And as soon as I did that, my body actually started to vibrate, and this vibration started to move through, as it was like this dense emotion. So, like, sadness, frustration, anger, fear. And as it started to vibrate, the more I was connecting to spirit, it was literally it just burst out of me. And I had a big cry and released it all out, and then it was done. And I was like, oh my God, like, that was easy. Like, I could have done that, before. And before, meditation wasn't the first thing that I would go to when I was frustrated. It would be like having a little temper tantrum would be my go-to. And this time, just observing myself and just recognizing like how I showed up for that situation and how I handled it was way better. It was still not the way I would have loved to handle it, but it was way better than how I have handled it in the past. And so I had to actually even pause and then remind myself to kind of celebrate that, and just be okay that, hey, like you did good. You did so much better than before. And that's amazing. That just so shows so much growth and so much spiritual evolution. So it was bittersweet. It was hard. It was a challenging moment to go through and experience. But then when I was out on the other side, and how I chose to handle it, how I chose to come back to myself, was really the key. Learn like the key lesson to learn from all of that. So really, the whole purpose of me having a stressful situation was just to learn how to go about it differently. So as you notice these evolutionary changes within yourself, and as you notice how you are becoming more and more mindful, um, you will really start to see that life actually can start to become a lot more effortless, that you can really rise to challenges, that you can rise to the occasion when something difficult does show up in your life. Because being spiritual and being someone who does trust and who really tries to listen to their intuition, I still have to have experiences. It's like, not have to, but like I guess have to, yeah. Like spirit still puts me through certain challenges to really test me, to see how I show up for those challenges. And the better I keep showing up and the more I notice that I'm showing up better, um, the more I'm actually inclined to do the work and to keep doing the work. And the more I have a desire to really just become this best version of myself, and to get to a point in my life where I'm not triggered. So this new moon is such an incredible new beginning. It is literally a brand new chapter that is beginning, and it's energetically a huge shift. And I think so many of us can feel it. And I'm actually quite excited that it's on Family Day, that it happens to be that this beautiful energy is here, on Family Day, because I'm hopeful, and I definitely wish for everyone to have a much more honest and open and loving Family Day, and hopefully maybe even a more spiritual Family Day. Like, I actually saw several couples out on the street today. I saw like 4 or 5 couples on my street walking that I don't typically, some of them I do see on a regular basis, but there were several that I don't typically see. And it was just really beautiful to see how the energy has shifted people to become more loving, to really open their hearts more. So take this time today, and definitely this entire week, take the time to connect deeply within yourself and to really find that strength and that power within you to shift your life, and trust yourself that you are capable of doing that, because you are. We oftentimes, put ourselves down and definitely don't give ourselves enough credit with how much we actually accomplish. And I'm talking not just physically and not in terms of productivity, but accomplish within ourselves in terms of emotional growth and spiritual growth. And to be honest with you, that is the number one thing and the very, very first thing that needs to happen, because the more you work on that and that trust for yourself, the more that you're actually capable of manifesting and creating a really beautiful life for yourself. But that has to come first, as you build this trust and for within yourself and also with spirit. And just know that at all times you are co-creating your life. I know that I am definitely co-creating my life, and I even said it to spirit this morning. I said, let's do this, baby. Let's co-create something really, really magnificent, because I genuinely and truly feel that I'm capable of doing that. And that's not something that I used to feel, but now I do feel that. And even though it's going to be potentially challenging, or it's going to be hard sometimes, it doesn't mean that I can't do it. And I'm willing to rise to the challenge. So just ask yourself, are you willing to rise to the challenge? And are you willing to look at your life from a perspective of love and compassion and strength, and know that you have the power to change absolutely everything and anything that is in your life right now that you don't like? So I'm going to leave you with that message for this beautiful new moon. Manifest your hearts out. Like, really, really put energy and time into focusing on dreaming a beautiful future for yourself, because it's already here. It is already knocking on your door and standing in front of it and saying, just open the door and let me in. And you let it in by really trusting and believing in yourself and knowing that you deserve a beautiful life. So have an awesome day, guys. Get outside, get some fresh air, spend time with your family if it's something that is important to you. But most of all, spend time with yourself and reconnect, and just know that you are worthy of everything and anything that you desire. So have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.